All right, we're still just in a waiting pattern here. All right, it's showing that we're live. How you guys doing? We're talking about Watkins Glen today. I'm joined by Jordan here. You can find his stuff at Fantasy Racing Online. You can find all his links in the description below. You can also find my stuff at Patreon just because it's the beginning of the month. I got to start pushing all this for him and myself. The same old, same old. Jordan, we were kind of talking a bit before that I know you're not too crazy about this race. I'm not crazy about this race in a sense of making a ton of lineups and even playing some of the bigger GPPs. I'm going to be playing some of the smaller GPPs today and focusing mainly on like one or two lineups. Is that kind of how you're feeling? Is that kind of why you don't like this slate as much as some other ones?
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why I'm not looking forward to this. Typically I'm putting together 200 lineups, and I might put in 6 today.
Yeah.
And I just, like I said, I don't know why. I like the different ways you can build today, but I'm just not really into it.
I think it's gonna split between a lot of people in the big ones. Like I said, I mean, you're going from like 200 to 6. I'm thinking I might just play one lineup today. And go in that range, because as I started building lineups, it just seemed I was coming up with lineups that, sure, they're off the main core that everybody's playing, but they're still easily made. And I still think that if you're making 150 lines, if you're making even like in like 20 maxes, I think we're going to see duplicated lineups across the board. And so that's kind of how I'm approaching this week. Does the news of Bell and Elliott going to the rear change anything for you? Because for me, it doesn't. I didn't have Elliott leading till stage 2, basically like halfway through stage 2. Same thing with Bell. I was playing Bell because I think he's going to get fast laps. I never intended him to lead laps. And so that doesn't change anything for me on those two drivers.
Yeah, it makes me like Bell more because I think more people are going to get off of him. Nobody's going to get off of Chase Elliott on that news. But when you have a guy starting 7th, or actual starting position is 7th, and drop it to the rear, and it's not Chase Elliott, I think that's going to lower Bell's ownership even more, and that makes me like him. I am really curious, though, like what their issues was, because I just saw, I think Nider tweeted that they confiscated parts from Chase's car. So something must have really been screwed up there. Could get even more penalties.
Yeah, we probably won't know till Tuesday, just how NASCAR reporting is. But let me see, what is this? They've been issued level 1 penalties. Okay, so that's pretty high. So that's pretty rough. So they've lost both their crew chiefs today. Actually, they've been fined and suspended. Which doesn't matter. Like, all these cars are prepared at the shop right now anyway. It's not like they're making changes or drastic wholesale changes during the race. But I'm curious. I don't think that's going to really change their performance much, because Bell has been good on the road courses across the board, and same thing with Elliott. And I also want to bring up, before I let you kind of talk again, is personally, I'm not focusing on the finishing positions of the road course races this year. I made a video early in the week kind of summing up, like, every single road course race we've had this year has had some type of impact within the last 10 laps that have changed the running order from where guys were running. So like at the Daytona road course, we had, the mist, the rain that brought out the yellow. If you had Chase Elliott, sorry. And it changed up a lot of the finishing order there. At COTA, we tried to kill 4 drivers. It was in the rain. It got called. So there's no useful data there. Sonoma turned into a wreck fest where we saw yellow after yellow after yellow at the end. And Road America, we had a lot of teams trying to leapfrog in case there was a yellow. And so some of the teams pitted, some of the teams stayed out. People finished better than they should have. Some guys finished worse than they should have. So all 4 races this year, I don't think finishing positions is really worth anything. I'm looking at, the running position during the race, lap data, maybe on a case-by-case basis. Like if it was guys inside the top 10 all day, then yeah, they're top 10 drivers. But I am not looking at finishing positions this year.
Yeah, absolutely not. I tend to I just pull finishing position for like quick reference usually, like in some of my videos. I really focus more on average running position and then green flag speed. aggregated over all the laps. Which, I mean, there's really no surprises then. As far as this year, you take Coda out, and it's Elliott, Larson, Hamlin, Truex, Logano, Kurt Busch as the best in average running position, all under 10. And then you got Bell, Bowman, Byron.
Yeah, and a lot of the I think a lot of the GPPs are going to be one today in the 6 and 7K range. I don't know if you want to spend much time talking about driver by drivers, or you just kind of want to get into the line of construction that you've been seeing, because I think that's worth more time than being like, okay, what do you think about Keselowski, Logano, Blaney? Like, I'm assuming that you and I are both on, like, we're not really focusing on those guys in the top 3, maybe other than Larson.
Yeah, I actually really like Larson a lot this today. But I'm starting to, the more I'm digging in today, it concerns me that Keselowski might lead a good portion of this race. And he's he wasn't really on my radar, earlier in the week. But I think we have to consider him because he does have a decent history here at Watkins Glen. He's really sucked at road courses lately, but you have to think that he might be able to lead some. But with Larson starting 4th, I mean, is he now with Chase Elliott going in the back? Do you think he's the top Dominator today?
Yeah, oddly enough, as I said, I didn't have Elliott leading up until like stage 2, and so I gave a bulk of the early laps led to people like Larson. I gave some to Keselowski. I gave some to the Penske guys across the board in case they end up leading, but Larson was my main guy that I put for laps led early, and so if anything, I think that does help Larson kind of maintain a top 2 running position for at least up until stage 3, because I think Chase will still easily get through the field. So I think Larson's the main play there. Larson and Hamlin inside the top 10. Those would be the main guys I would focus on if you want to focus on like a lap leader.
Right. Yeah, Hamlin's kind of like a sneaky play. He's kind of going under the radar, but he's only $9,400. And, I mean, he's been rock solid. The thing is, he hasn't really, got the Dominator points on road courses this year, which he's going to need to get for that to work. What do you think of like Truex?
So I do want to bring up Hamlin real quick. I know he's not, killing the field, but he's been consistently getting at least like one actual Dominator point of just getting fast laps throughout pretty much every single road course race going back to like 2018. You typically see Hamlin with like 1 to 2 to 3 Dominator points at least throughout most races. And so that's kind of why I brought up Hamlin there, because I think Hamlin can get fast laps in this race, and he's only $9,400. And I don't remember the question you asked me before I did that.
Oh, I was going to ask you about Truex. So would you consider playing Hamlin and Larson together?
I would. I think you can do it. I think it would be the same type of build if you really want to pivot off of Elliott, like you really don't believe in Elliott or Bell, which I think you should have been playing together anyway. If you want to maybe move to Larson and Hamlin, I think that's very equivalent to the direction I was originally going to go with Bell and Chase, which I'm probably still going to go. Let's see. You were asking about Truex. What do you see Truex doing today? I have Truex for mainly just getting like a 4th place finish, not many fast laps, not many laps led.
Yeah, so I have his average projected finish at 4.2. I feel like he's fallen off on the road courses. So it's hard to justify that 10.4 price tag when I can get Elliott or Larson for 10.2. Or saving 1,000 and going down to Hamlin, because I think they have, similar points today with
sorry.
With Hamlin having a little bit more Dominator upside.
Yeah, Hamlin's the closest. If I take out Larson, if I take out Elliott, because they're in different price ranges, Hamlin is the closest guy in terms of hitting the 5x value for me. I got Truex at a 4.7. I got Hamlin at a 4.8, and so I would just prefer Hamlin for the price discount.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Outside of that, I guess we'll kind of rapid fire through some people, because I do want to get to the 8 or the 6K range. Like, I'm not playing Chastain. I'm not playing Reddick. I have no interest in DiBenedetto. I have no interest in Byron.
You don't like Chastain?
I don't like
That's
Chastain.
surprising.
So I'm giving Chastain 37.4 today.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a 9th place, 8th place finish. I just see other guys kind of outscoring him, and for $8,100, with my projections, he's overpriced. Are you giving him way more points than that?
No, I'm at 33.7. So I just like his upside, but I don't love the price, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're going off of Briscoe and trying to get off that, then I think it's a decent play though.
Yeah. So kind of going back to the finishing positions this year, Chastain is one of those guys Chastain and Alfredo are the main two guys that pop out for me as guys who have been elevated due to the finishing position, due to how these races have come about. Because 4th at Coda for Chastain, as I said, that was a mess. Sonoma, we had like 4 yellows at the end, and Chastain consistently gained positions through that because they kept wrecking around 8th place in all those cautions, and then they spun out yet again in the last corner. At Road America, he did drive up through the field, but I think if it would have stayed green, he would have, like, if everybody stayed on the track, I think Chastain would have finished 15th or 14th, whereas he leapfrogged a lot of guys who stayed on old tires, like Eric Amarola. I can't think of other guys right now, but a lot of the guys who started up front on that last run at Road America stayed out on old tires. And so Chastain had new tires on that run. That's what kind of moved him to 7th place. That's why I'm not too high on Chastain, despite the fact he is 7th, 7th, 4th, and 39th this year.
Right. He also has 10th best average running position of everyone this year on road courses. That's what kind of pops off for me as decent.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going through chat right here. Kay, I'm happy for you. I went 100% on Austin Dillon yesterday, and I only lost like $13 or $20, somewhere around there. So if you played the guys that I liked outside of Austin Dillon, I mean, congratulations, because that was a really, really good day. So just want to give a shout out to Kay. I'm glad you did that. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat before we continue to other people.
Seems like there's a lot of people asking if Chase is still a play today. Absolutely. I mean, definitely going to get an early stage caution, might get a wreck caution, might get a rain caution. It's going to rain today. I know it will, which is going to screw everything up.
Yeah. Sorry, I keep talking over you. I just get excited talking about these farces of races. So Watkins Glen is normally a really green race, which is why I like Watkins Glen. It's an actual driver ability type of track. If we do get rain, I mean, yet again, which is why I'm kind of only making one line. I don't think it rains. I think it misses the track today, but I'm not a weatherman. I'm in Texas. Where's Watkins Glen? In New York? Where's it at?
I think it's on like the northern side of New York.
Okay.
If it's and I don't know if it would be. I don't really know how weather works. It's weird to me. But if it is the weather that we got here in Ohio yesterday, we, like where I'm at, it was going to the radar was completely red, and then all of a sudden it just broke up and completely missed us, but hit the town north of us and the town south of us. It was wild. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
No, it's in southern New York, like kind of in the center.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not going to kill myself worrying about the weather. If it rains, it rains. The guys that I like are going to do well or not. That's how I look at it. I see that we had a question about Byron. I'm not on Byron at all. I don't see him doing much in this race other than some place differential.
Yeah, his I'd rather go Kurt, if I'm going to go in that price range. I just like Byron and Elliott so much today, or Larson and Elliott so much today that I'm really not even considering. What about how much do you like Kyle Busch? So you said you're entering one lineup. Are you putting Kyle in it?
I haven't decided. I have not figured the line that I want to run. Right now, my highest
Sorry to the chat that we don't know exactly where fucking Watkins Glen is in New York. Jesus Christ.
You should be happy I even knew the state it was in.
Good God, what the hell does it matter?
Right.
God, get fucked.
Love you, Jordan. Thank you so much, man. Because I'm always concerned I'm too mean to people. Yeah.
I'm sorry I don't know the direct coordinates on the freaking
Yeah.
globe of where Watkins Glen International is.
Be happy that we even know where the states are. This generation doesn't even know where states are, where countries are. Let's see. What was I saying before? Oh, so I have my highest Kyle Busch lineup is 2 points below my highest projected lineup. So I think it's neck and neck. I think Kyle's a good play for me personally. I don't know if I'm going to play him in my line, but I really do like Kyle. It just depends on the price constraints, because if you go Kyle, you're most likely, and if you're playing Elliott, it's either an Elliott Kyle lineup building around a lot of the 6K drivers. It could be a Larson and Kyle lineup, but then you're really giving up the upside that Elliott has if he continues to dominate like he has been doing. I think if you're not playing Chase, I think Kyle Busch would be a lock in that situation.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. How I feel like there's no possible way that you can get off of Chase today, though. Like I put in my article, like I would go 100%, not even think about it. He's just that good. It's ridiculous how good that guy is at road courses, and I would say Watkins Glen is his best road course. So unless he has a full mechanical issue, which is possible but not very likely, he's going to win this race. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to right now. I'm kind of trying to throw a lineup together with Elliott, Kyle Busch, and Larson in it.
It's tough, which we'll get to. I wasn't aware of how much pull your friend Doc had, but man, yesterday, I really think RotoDoc pulled a lot of ownership, and so he's been. Which we'll talk about Alfredo and LaJoie when we get down there, but if you're playing that lineup or that core that you kind of just said, the Elliott, Kyle Busch, Larson, then I think you might have to double play with LaJoie and Alfredo.
I got one with Alfredo, Dillon, Bubba Wallace. Yeah, which I don't particularly hate that.
Yeah, those are the builds that I'm seeing as well. Well, we stopped at Byron. Let's talk about Austin Dillon, because it's always the same situation where there's always one play early in the week that everybody thinks is going to be sneaky, and then he ends up being talked up by everybody, and he's not so sneaky. So maybe we all think we're smarter than we all are when we're like, oh, I got this secret play. But so Dillon at $6,100, he doesn't have to do much to hit value. I have him projected for 6. Where are we at? He's my best value with a straight 6x, 37 points. However, I just get the feeling that they're going to do something stupid, because I personally don't like playing drivers on the playoff bubble, and I don't want to talk about the playoffs a ton because that'll just turn to another rant. But he's competing directly against Reddick, and so I feel like the RCR teams are going to be doing every strategy in the book to try and get stage points or finish well. And I personally don't like that risk in a race that I said I think it goes green, and I think that hurts people who are taking risks to try and gain advantage if the race goes green, because people like Chase Elliott, they don't need to take risk. They're fast. They're going to get up to the front anyway. Whereas, Austin Dillon is somebody who needs to basically race this race in a really risky fashion to finish well. And so I like him. I think he's going to be very popular. I think he's actually, him and Buescher are the most popular plays. And I know Dillon's in the 6, Buescher's in the 7, but I think those are the 2 popular plays in each of those price ranges.
I think I'm 100% in agreement with you that I think Austin Dillon is going to be stupidly high owned for what he is on a road course. He's had, decent finishes this year compared to what we're used to him. It just, the 16th place kind of scares me. and he's been so bad at Watkins
Mhm.
Glen and just road courses in general up until this year. But I like you said, I have him projected for 24 points, and it's still optimizer still is going basically 100% Dillon because of the price.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm with you. I think we're going to see higher than normal. And I know I wrote about Austin Dillon in my article, and I'm like you. I thought it was a sneaky play, but yeah, more that I've seen of people around the industry, it's I don't think it's going to be sneaky. What do you think of like Cole Custer in that range? I think he
So
could be a very sneaky play.
let me look at the 6K real quick. Let me talk about Kurt Busch first, because I think our 6K discussion is going to take like 30 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to get other guys out of the way first.
Yeah.
So I'm not playing Kurt Busch. I think he's too expensive. He's a guy who's finished well towards the end of these races because of the chaos, and he's been consistent. And we entered this year. Pierce talked about it as well. Race for the prize. Entering this year, Kurt Busch was going to be a guy you wanted to play at the road courses because we've seen him get more and more consistent. But this is unsustainably consistent. Like pretty much a top 5 in every race this year outside of Coda, and he finished 6th at Sonoma. Like that, I don't think that's sustainable for Kurt Busch. I think he's more of a 9th, 10th place driver, and if he finishes there, I think he's a waste of money. But
I think he has top 5 upside. I don't think I think he's legitimately ran that well. I mean, he has the 6th best average running position on road courses this year. Like that's not a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I love Kurt Busch and FanDuel.
Yeah,
It's very hard for me to play him in DraftKings.
Yeah, because I'm giving Kurt 8 place differential points and even 3 fast laps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't think it's going to work. And if we're high on Larson and Elliott and Kyle, and it really it's difficult to put Kurt into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that we got those guys, I think we can talk about the 6 and 7K range here. So you were talking about Cole Custer. If I had to, and these are at least on, because this is my screen, this is all the stuff that I made for the video earlier in the week. Some of the stuff that changed, and I'll change it accordingly if I see stuff different over here. But looking at the 6K range, I have Cole as the worst play right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving him 30 points. I have a lot of these guys in between 30 and 36 points. And so, I mean, it's all really, really close.
Do you think most people are going to overlook this price range and just go straight to the LaJoies and the Alfredos and hell, even Ryan Preece?
So now that I've been messing around with lineups, I think they are. Whereas I love, playing even people like if you play like Busher and Michael McDowell together, I think that's perfectly fine. If you don't want to play Dillon, play Cole Custer instead. Like I would much rather stay in the 6K range. I don't really want to be going down to the 5K because I don't believe in Alfredo. LaJoie would be the main guy I would focus on in the 5K if I had to. But I don't know if I want to really go down there. I don't think I need to go down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's solid value in, like, even in Eric Jones. Like, I like Eric Jones today. Like you said, McDowell, Busher. I don't think you need to go that deep in the driver pool unless you're, trying to stack Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and, Hamlin or something, or Bell, where you're forcing those in. Not to jump around, but I'm going to jump around. Chase Briscoe, 27th, but he's 8,300.
I'm giving him.
I like him a lot more than Busher, even for the price.
I have Buescher at 32. I got Chase Briscoe at 41.25 points. If you can get Briscoe in line, I would much rather play. I know it's two different ranges, but I would much rather not play Kurt Busch and then put put Briscoe in a line to pretty much have the same amount of place differential points and even a higher ceiling than Kurt Busch. Like I like Briscoe, and I can see him easily getting over, a 5.4, even probably. I think he might get close to a 6 if this race gets ugly. Like if we do have rain, I would like Briscoe probably more than anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my optimal lineup, according to my projections, is Elliott, Larson, Briscoe, Buescher, Jones, Austin Dillon. And I feel like Briscoe is just becoming a plug-in on road courses, and I'm not sure that everybody's catching up on that yet, but he's really good at road courses.
Yeah, and maybe we were too harsh on him early in the year, and maybe it really was the transition between the Xfinity car and not having practice for the Cup Series car. Like I don't think the Briscoe in the grand scheme of things is that good of a driver, but I think he was underperforming just because he was new. I don't think it was SHR or like he was that bad. I think he's better than people were giving him credit for. Let's see. Where is he at in terms of my optimizer? Let me look. So it's Briscoe. It's Briscoe McDowell. It's Briscoe McDowell, LaJoie. Those are the guys that the optimizer is liking.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the fence about McDowell. I like the price.
I can Stenhouse a lot too.
Oh, that's tough. I did too earlier this week, and I've moved off of him a little bit. But it's like Austin Dillon. It's such a great price for if he pulls off the top 14, he's going to hit value.
I would rather play Stenhouse over Dillon.
Just because of the two spots? Or because...
I think Stenhouse is a faster car. We saw that he was extremely fast at Road America. Yet again, this is why I don't look at the finishing positions. But Stenhouse, I think he went into pit road under green 3 times because they kept losing the tire because they had something rubbing. But he would constantly drive through the field, get to 20th, right, lose positions on pit road, drive through the field again. And so I know everybody pit in front of him, but he started that last run. I could tell you that right now, actually. Let me look, which is why I really like Stenhouse. Let me look. Give me a moment here. So Stenhouse started that final run. If this thing would load.
Like you said, there's so many, like every single road course race this year, you have to like put an asterisk mark next to it because crazy stuff has happened, I swear, in every race.
Mm-hmm.
Like CODA, I haven't even, I haven't looked at CODA data at all because that was such a ridiculously stupid race. Like I just threw it out the window.
Yeah, I did as well. God, dude, this is still, I got so many tabs open. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm waiting for this to load. Okay, so looking at Road America, where are you at, Stenhouse? I'll tell you his story of his race. So Stenhouse at Road America starts 38th. On lap 12, he's in 19th. They come out of yellow on lap 20. On lap 17, he's 23rd. He goes into the pits during that run. He finishes lap 30 and 32nd. They come out of that yellow. He's in 31st. Drives up to 23rd. Goes back into pit lane, so he's 32nd. People start pitting on that last run, and he goes from 30th to 12th. And I think it was 18 drivers pitted. or entered pit road on that last run. It may have been 16. I don't remember the exact number. But I mean, Stenhouse had a fast car. He just consistently had pit road issues or car issues that made him pit under green.
Mm-hmm. What did he do at Sonoma? I don't have it up. I don't have anything up.
Let's see. If you want to look at this stuff in a very easy to read fashion, go to racetheprize.com. Started 14th, fell to 23rd under green. I think he pitted, ended lap 11 and 30th. Came out of that yellow at 19th, drove up to 14th. They had a yellow. He pitted, came out 26th, drove up to 22nd. He got in a wreck. He got wrecked. And he got wrecked. And then, where are you at, Daytona Road Course? Let's see. And it's pretty much the same story at Daytona Road Course. He'd gain positions under green, lose them under yellow, and then pit road. I think he spun out on lap 65.
I feel like everybody spun out in that race.
I think him and Elliott got together.
That sounds right.
I think it was him and Elliott, because I think Elliott got bumped by somebody and he spun into Stenhouse. Don't quote me on that because I haven't watched the actual race in forever, but remembering off the top of my head, I think that's who he got into. All right, let me look at the chat because we've last time we talked to them, we were yelling at him for the new year. Let me look. Dillon. Okay, so Dillon was running really good in the Xfinity race. Because he's in an R Motorsports car. He's getting a feel. He's basically practicing, but he was still passing people under green. He came out of stage 2 on pit road when they did take 4 tires and fuel. He was running 7th, 8th, and he held that position up until the second to last yellow. And then I think he broke the transmission on that restart. So I don't think that's I think that's being a little too harsh on Elliott because he was running pretty decent. Let's see. So what is with everybody comparing the ARCA package to these guys nowadays? Like, what over the last 2 weeks, it's been like the ARCA series is just like the Cup Series package. The ARCA series is a close series, and I went on a huge rant about the Truck Series and some of the drivers who ran the ARCA race yesterday. Of the ARCA series is not it's not a league I want to look at. There's like 4 competitive cars. If you look at how slow some of these cars are, even if it's a good driver in the equipment, some of these teams don't even run all the races. I don't look at the ARCA package and races whatsoever.
Yeah, I haven't paid a lot of attention this weekend, but I haven't heard that. So
I think the only reason Briscoe's doing well is because Briscoe is Briscoe on a road course, and that it'd really be equivalent to you and me hopping in an ARCA race at Watkins Glen. Like, no shit, Briscoe's going to be faster than us,
and we'll probably be in the wrong state anyway.
Yeah. I'll show up to Long Island, New York, and not the actual racetrack. Let's see. We kind of already talked about Bell in the beginning. You can just replay. You got plenty of time to listen to it on 2X. Andrew, I'm going to answer this so you don't ever have to ask another content creator again, because I hate it when people ask people this. As DraftKings and FanDuel both score based on where they qualified. So the NASCAR qualifying order that is given is where they're scored from.
The only time it gets screwy is when we actually have qualifying and then someone gets disqualified from qualifying, because then their time gets disallowed. And that's when people get so confused. And I'm like, and I just know it like off the top of my head, like which is which, but I couldn't imagine people, that don't really follow it too close and then trying to understand. Well, sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like that. Good old NASCAR and the rules.
NASCAR can't even release the qualifying order correctly because I think a couple of people did that this week. Because when I pulled data like on Tuesday, it had Sam Mayer in Xfinity starting like 32nd or whatever, and then yesterday when they put it out, he was starting 23rd. Like I don't know how these mix-up happen when you have 2 weeks to prepare for this.
And it's like it's a simple math formula. Like it's literally just it takes 12 seconds in Excel.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it makes me look bad when I have somebody starting 32nd. I was like, I'm just going off of what they're giving me, man. I'm changing it as soon as I see it's changed.
Right.
You know. All right. So let's look back to 6K range here.
We haven't touched on it. You taking any punts today?
No punts today. I still, if I was going to punt, I'd play Quinn Half. At $4,500. Like if you can't, like I don't like Alfredo or Priest, but if you're desperate for money, just bottom punt at Quinn Half. Like if you're going that low, it's because you need the salary. Yeah, I don't see it. Like I said, I think LaJoie is the lowest I'd want to go. And so LaJoie is the guy who is legit had race speed. He's finished 20th, 18th, and 21st, and that's more so his running position in these races. You got to remember he got spun out at Road America when he was running pretty much there. I think it was I forgot where he was running there. I think it was 22nd when he got spun out. But that's why I'd give LaJoie like 7-8 place differential points, and that's why I think he's going to finish better than Alfredo in terms of fantasy points.
Yeah, and he's just so consistent. Like I'm looking at the last 9 races. He's finished 23rd or better in all but one, and it was the Pocono race that I think he wrecked or had an engine.
He got put in the wall. He got wrecked out of 3.
Yeah. So I think, like I kind of like Alfredo today, but if you're picking between him and LaJoie, I think you go LaJoie. I don't think there's any reason to be that contrarian.
Yeah, and I mean I always like LaJoie in the short tracks anyway. I think their struggle is on the 1.5 miles and more of the aero dependent. I know someone's going to be like, well, they keep saying on the broadcast Watkins Glen is aero dependent, and yes, it is, but it's not as aero dependent as say like the Indianapolis Roval. Like if they not the Roval, the Oval, if they still had the real Brickyard, like Corey LaJoie would be at a severe disadvantage.
Did you see that question about Priest?
No, I have my other thing. Let me find. Can't decide between Alfredo and Priest or another one.
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
I've completely written off Priest today, and this isn't the first time I've heard him being talked about.
Yeah, I got another one. So go ahead. Sorry, I get excited.
Is Priest a better road course racer than I think he is? Like I have him for 11 points today. Even at that salary, I don't like it.
I have him getting 3 place differential points. So finishing around 20th, 21st, 19th, somewhere around there. And that's 25 points. 4.5 value. And I have LaJoie. Let me see. Yeah, I have LaJoie for more points. So I would just go with LaJoie. But I mean, I guess if you need the salary, you can go Priest. But like I said, in that case, if I need salary that bad, I would just play Quinn and then just rebuild the lineup and just take all the high dollar plays. You know, like I don't want to have a good lineup killed because, you know, I went like if we're talking about LaJoie, Alfredo, and Priest, I like lineups that I build with LaJoie because I think he can perform well. I like Alfredo because he's going to get at least 7 positions gained, at least 6. But I think LaJoie finishes better than Alfredo, just giving him more points. Priest is a guy that I think both LaJoie and Alfredo are going to pass, and there's guys behind Priest that are going to pass him. And so if Priest finishes, like 23rd and stuff, it's not a bad day. The lineup still does well. You get 4.5 from Priest, but you get outscored in the grand scheme of things by the other guys in that price range.
Yeah. Okay. I just had the sneaky.
Dave Sims being talked about too, man. I can't do it. I can't.
If he was 4,900, I'd like him.
Yeah.
But pricing him up to 5,900 is laughable. Pricing him over LaJoie is completely laughable.
Look at the data. Oh, you know what? Okay, I will look through the data. Let's go and look at his road courses, because I have it right here, and I'll tell you lap by lap what position he's in. So let's go find Davison. So
is he talking Davison or Priest?
I assume it's Dave. Who are you talking about? That is true, because I don't believe in Davidson at all.
He has to be talking about Priest.
I'll even look at Priest too. But,
Luke, who are you talking about?
Yeah. All right, so let's just see. Let's see if his finishing position. Before I look at the data, let's see what his finishing positions are to see if that's a reason why people are looking at him. So, Daytona Road Course, he finishes 9th. Coda, he finishes 15th. Those are positions I'm worried about. Sonoma finishes 21st. That seems like what Priest is going to do today, because even with all the chaos in there, Priest wasn't involved in those wrecks. He wasn't able to take advantage of those incidents. And then he had, the brake failure, or when he pulled it off the track, he had a mechanical failure. I don't see it from Priest. Let me look. I'll even look at his good finishes. So let's see. Priest here. So Priest starts 6th at here. Right, Daytona. Yeah, Daytona Road Course. So, he's 6th. There's a caution comes out. He loses positions under green. He goes from 8th to 17th under green. He pits before the yellow on lap 13. About 15th, pits again. I assume staging it on 18. So he comes out 23rd, races up to 20th. We have a yellow. Restarts 23rd, stays in 23rd, pits. We have another yellow. Lap 38, he's in 23rd. He drives up to 15th on lap 50. So he pits, cycles out to 17th. There's a yellow. There's another yellow, another yellow. So he's gaining positions on yellows at the Daytona Road Course. Starts lap 63 and 9th and holds on to 9th for the rest of the race there. I'm not going to look at Coda because that's not important. So let's look at Sonoma.
He had 3 fastest laps at Sonoma.
I wonder if he was in pit road and catching the field. So let's see. I can tell you what laps he had those fast laps on too. Starts 27th, lap 11, he's in 32nd. He cycles through on the caution, starts lap 14th, 18th, finishes lap 21 on 12. So I assume people pitted to leapfrog on the stage. Lap 25, he starts 24th, goes to 19th on lap 32. Under that yellow, he comes out 7th. So it's pit road gain there. Goes from 7th to 19th under green. I assume he's on old tires and just got freight trained by the field. They have a yellow. Starts lap 45 in 26th. I think he spins out or has an issue because he goes from 26th to 35th on lap 50. Finishes that run on lap 71 and 28th. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows in that period, and he finishes 21st. Let me see when he got those fast laps. He got those he pitted. He had to pit because he got 3 fast laps in a row on lap 52, 53, and 54. So I assume he was on new tires. He must have pitted and got tires. So as we're going through this, I mean, Priest is looking like a 21st place driver. Let's look at Road. Well, he DNF'd at Road America. So, I mean, I looked right there. I kind of walked you through what I saw. I don't I don't think Priest is working. Or like I see him running 21st, 22nd. So compare that. We've kind of already talked about LaJoie, Alfredo, and Priest. That's where we're at right now. I'm tired. You got to talk for a bit.
I'm just doing the math. LaJoie Priest finishes 21st. He's got 23 points. LaJoie finishes 24th. He's got 23 points. I'm trying to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
How owned do you think Alfredo is going to be?
I think he's
higher than LaJoie.
I think he's higher than LaJoie. Because like a lot of people don't look at this data, which yet again, racewithprize.com. If you want an easy to read source for stuff, go there. That's why I like it. I can easily talk about it on here. I don't have to spend an hour going through Racing Reference or other things to tell you this. But I think people are looking at the finishes for these races. And even then, like, I mean, 22nd at the Daytona Road Course, okay, that's fine. Coda, like, he finished 18th while everybody died. What was like 6 actual decent cars got taken out. You had Harvick, Truex, Bell, Bubba, Suarez blew a transmission before everything got crazy. So that's 5 positions right there that Alfredo was able to gain that would have finished in front of him. At Sonoma, he was running 8th, and I talked about it yet again in the video. He was running 8th on that final restart because he stayed out because everybody was wrecking. Like he did not drive up to 8th under green. And then he got spun out. He got spun by, I think it was Bowman. Don't remember. It was entering the carousel. And then 37th at Road America. Like I don't believe in Alfredo.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not like I said, in that price range, I'm going LaJoie, but I think when you're going down to like guys like Priest and Alfredo, you're just banking on crazy stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we typically, I guess we do kind of see that at Watkins Glen sometimes. I don't know.
I don't know. It can happen. Like all this goes out the window if it's a rain wreck, if people keep wrecking, and then you come back to me and be like, "Well, Alfredo finished 17th." Well, it was a wreck fest, okay?
Right.
Coda, like if you came back to me at Coda when I probably said the same thing about Alfredo there, and you came back, I was like, "Well, it was raining all day. We couldn't see." That's why I get frustrated when races don't finish, because I at least want closure to see what would have happened. Like not even yesterday, but just like for the Talladega race in Xfinity earlier this year when it was rained out, the truck race yesterday. Like I want to see how strategies work. I don't even care if there's wrecks at the end. I just want to see how every car performs and how every team performs in that. So we haven't talked about Suarez at all. I think I like Suarez. Let me look.
At 7,500.
Yeah, I like Suarez.
You like him as a pivot off of Buscher?
I'd like Suarez and Buescher together.
Okay.
And then I would like Suarez paired with any of the 6K guys.
So do you like Suarez over McDowell? See, I like McDowell and Jones a lot better than I like Suarez.
I like Suarez over McDowell. So yet again, let's kind of break down the data here, and everything is an asterisk by everything else. But at least when he was able to race under green at the Daytona Road Course, he did all right. He finished 16th there. Starting 21st here, that's not going to kill you if he gains like 6 positions, 7 positions. I think he can hit 4.8, 4.9, a 5x value pretty easily. They blow a transmission early in Coda, and they talked about it extensively. Like they're going to bring a better transmission to Sonoma, a much heavier shifting track. They did not have any mechanical issues. He finishes 12th, even with all the chaos, and you can see him slowly going through the field. At Road America, they said that they brought the exact same type of transmission that they brought at Coda. They thought they fixed the issue. It blows up again at Road America. I think Suarez is going to perform well because the only thing holding him back is his transmission issues.
I just hate the price. And like it concerns me when the same issue keeps cropping up. And I know, like, Rotodoc and I talked about this on the podcast this week, and he basically said, problems like that don't happen 3 times. But it's still, for me, it's concerning because, like, if they couldn't figure it out the first time, the exact same thing happened.
Well, that's kind of why I gave context right there, because they deliberately fixed it for Sonoma, and then they went back to the old one, hoping that they fixed the issue at Road America. To where at this point, I don't believe that they're going to bring that back when it's failed twice. That's my approach. Especially when you thought you could fix it, it happens again. I'm pretty sure they're just going to shelve all that stuff because they're going to buy good equipment right now on the cheap since everybody's already got the Gen 7 chassis.
Mm-hmm. He finished 12th at Sonoma. And I feel like, okay, you're talking me into Suarez right now, by the way.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that ruins my day.
Don't bet him, please. God, don't put the jinx on him. Just
no,
play him.
Funny enough, the jinx is on Larson today, so have fun.
I saw that.
But yeah, okay. Suarez 3rd, 4th, and 17th in Gibbs and Stuart Haas equipment here. Okay.
And even before that, like if we look back at every single one of his starts since Sonoma in 2018, we have 15th, 17th, 4th, 17th, 21st, 34th, 26th, 27th. All those are in piece of shit equipment. 16th, 33rd, 12th, and 36th this year. So that string of 21st to 27th was just that was the car. That wasn't him. We've seen what he can do in a car that's not going to fall apart. That's why I like Suarez a lot today.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking me into it too much. I'm going to end up playing Suarez today.
I think I'm going to play him too. I think he's going to be in the line because I haven't heard anybody really talk about him at all.
Yeah. Let me see here. Sorry, I'm just checking something quick.
No, you're good. I'm changing some stuff over here on the back end to see if the stuff changes. Yeah, I like Suarez. And that's a range that people are not getting to. Because that 7.5 is hard. Like if you're playing Suarez, it's because you're building a lineup around Suarez. You're going out of your way to get him.
Right.
Yeah. And that's when I really like pivots of when the construction of lineups are not going that way. Whether it's an optimizer, whether you're hand building, you are not ending up with $7,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, the lineup that I just built with Suarez, I put Priest in it. Gosh.
Oh, no. Well, no, I don't think that's bad because I don't think that's poor. I don't think that's bad at all. Yeah, Vinny, I don't know if I assume you just tuned in. First off, I'd say rewatch the whole thing, but I just summed up everything related to Suarez about 8 minutes ago. Let's see. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it. I like talking to Suarez, or I like talking to Jordan about all this type of stuff. I saw the Suarez comment pop up. That's why I said
Yeah.
his name.
A couple guys that we haven't really touched on that are decently priced, Harvick and Bowman. Bowman's like a sneaky good road course racer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been consistent, and I think he would have finished really good. So, yet again, looking at the races, Bowman finished poorly at Road America because he had a flat tire. He missed the braking zone, ran into his teammate Larson at the end of that race, and had to pit. Outside of that, he would have probably finished inside the top 10 in every single road race this year.
Oh yeah, and even like going back to the last couple years, like, and I feel like nobody's really talking about Bowman as a good road course racer, but he is, and plus he's in Hendrick equipment,
Mm-hmm.
And today, I don't think he's going to be high owned at all today, just because he's starting 10th. But I do like I don't hate the price by any means.
I want to see if you go. This is just kind of me thinking out loud. If you play Bowman and Suarez, that's $8,400 left. That'd be an interesting build. It'd be difficult to get up to Elliott or Kyle with it, though.
Elliott, Larson, Bowman, Suarez, McDowell, LaJoie.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of that one. That would be. I do kind of like that pairing of Suarez and Bowman. I think if you want to be different, you need to play at least one of those guys. Bowman or Suarez. I think going out of your way to get one of those guys is a really smart idea. I don't know why that made me laugh, man.
FanDuel is so garbage.
It's so bad, man. I can't say I'm playing 4 lineups in that contest. I mean, I reserve all my shit on like Thursday when everything opens up. I just reserve lineups. So, especially right now, since we got an influx of NFL people coming through, which is why I like promoting my stuff at this time of the month. Same thing with your stuff, because the NASCAR contests are going to shrink. We have more guys moving into the NFL. Content stuff, and we're kind of just staying NASCAR. So we appreciate you guys being here.
It looks like they added a smaller one with $250 to first. Oh my God.
I was just about to say that.
$7 entry and $250 to first.
85 payout, man. 85 being paid out. I wish, goddamn, man, I wish DraftKings and FanDuel would stop the freaking 23% payout. And if you paid out 35% of the field, you don't got to fucking give the winner $100,000.
Right.
And then second place, $10,000. There's no reason. Pay out the top 15 as an achievement, because if you finish top 15 any GPP, you should be, rewarded for that. And then back up the payout structure a little bit.
Yeah, you finish 11th in the big GPP on DraftKings today, and you get $700.
Like, if you're mass entering, that doesn't even cover half of your entries.
Right. That's why, like, I don't mass enter the big contests. I'll do the mini max just to mess around with, building like that. But I think I said it before, I stick to high dollar, and that's where I make my money. Yeah,
I'm slowly leaning more and more in that direction. Oops, I meant to click the other one. FanDuel, like, I can't play any sportsbook here in Texas, but I believe FanDuel cares more about their sportsbook than the DFS aspect. Like, they're in DFS just to be there and for the NFL season, but that's it.
And they always have the best odds. I've found for NASCAR. Interestingly enough, I know we've gotten the question a lot, whether the going to the rear affects Elliott or not, and we've said it doesn't. He hasn't even moved off of 2-1 on books. Like, there's no, and Bell's still at 15. So
Yeah, let me see what he's on DraftKings, because I do look at the DraftKings sports book.
he's at who? Elliott?
Yeah, what's Elliott at? Let me look.
2-1. And I don't think we've had that short of a favorite this year. I know Larson got down to 225 at Atlanta, but I can't recall anyone being 2-1.
Elliott's still minus 650 on DraftKings for a top 5. like play Elliott. There's no reason to not play Elliott here. I don't see it, man. Unless like that part they removed was like a part of the motor and they got to rebuild the engine right now. I don't see a reason not to play Elliott.
Yeah, until freaking RC Anderson bumps into the back of him on lap 2. Then
who's that? Oh yeah, I forgot
whoever the hell this guy is.
So for whatever reason, I was like, man, is he making a joke about like a backup pace car driver? I know Brett's the pace car driver. I was like, who's he talking? I totally forgot RC was even in here for 5,300.
Hopefully, what's his name's not here because I don't know who RC Anderson is. Get on my ass about that too.
It's like, oh my god, how do you not know? Watch, he'll be born in New York too, so we'll really be thrown under the bus.
So looking at stage odds now, Chase Elliott's now 10-1 to win stage 1. Do you think he can get up there?
I think he can. I think he can, man. If he's fast, if he's Elliott, and if they have a caution, maybe I think they do have the competition card, or do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do. Yeah, I think Elliott gets up there really quick. I think that helps Elliott more because he's in traffic. He's going through the field. If he has any issues with that car, they'll pit under that competition caution and fix it.
What'd you say?
I think that helps Elliott more because he's going through traffic, and if they have any issues, if he doesn't like the car, he'll pit under that yellow.
Yeah.
And fix whatever. Like, I think that's probably the best practice he can have. Is
competition caution lap 10.
Yeah.
Which if they pit competition caution, you could then run till the start of the final stage on fuel.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Which I already did, but I mean, I like Elliott. We're both on him.
Yeah, the guy is just unworldly at road courses. He established himself as the best road course racer a couple years ago, and then got better somehow. I think he's gonna set unbreakable records when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. I don't like Gordon, but I liked Stewart and Gordon always being the highest on road courses. And Elliott's like the record books, especially if they decrease the road course going forward, because 6 is too many. Like, these races suck.
Yeah,
I don't know why everybody's like wanting more road courses. Everybody I've listened to, not even in the DFS stuff, just people on YouTube are like, "Oh my god, we got 2 more road courses." I was like, I've been telling you, we only need like 2. But yeah, Elliott's going to finish his career with like 27 road course wins, and that'll be all his career wins on road courses.
Yeah, so we got Indy road course next week, and then Charlotte Roval in October, and that's it. So 2 more after this. But same day qualifying next week. Oh my god.
Oh, no. Oh man. That's funny. I know you're way more mad about that than I am, but I totally forgot about they're splitting it with IndyCar next week.
And the race starts at 1?
Let me look.
That's what J-Ski has.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. That's early. That means they
That
might
has to be
qualify. Like,
wrong.
no, it has to be. Let's look.
Knowing NASCAR, they'll probably qualify at 12:30.
I think we're talking about it right now. Let's see. At the Brickyard. Yeah, it has it at 12. It starts at 12 tomorrow, Sunday, or noon my time, 1 Eastern.
Qualifying's at 9 Eastern.
It's
So
8 o'clock in the morning for me. Do you want to do a live show next week or no? Since we're already here.
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm usually way too busy.
All right, then I'll probably go live by myself then, just because I don't do as much as you do. But it'll probably be up until lock because we got to get the qualifying done, then I got to get the Patreon stuff out.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, if you want to hop on, and we're still live on YouTube, that's why I just kept it so everybody can listen. So if you want to hop on, just let me know. But I'll probably be live next week. I don't know what time though.
Yeah, I'll let you know for sure. It all just depends. Typically, I don't have time, but I always might.
Yeah. Well, if you do, just let me know. So everybody who tuned in today, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us talk. You spent an hour and 10 minutes with us, so we appreciate that. I appreciate that. Assume Jordan does. So you can find all his stuff in the description. You can find all my stuff there as well. And good luck today, guys. Hopefully it stays clean. Hopefully nothing crazy happens, and we could just have a race go green to the end.
Yep. And Chase Elliott's in victory lane again.
Yeah. Go Elliott.
I can tell the future.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate Chase Elliott, but hope he wins today. So see you guys later.
Yep. See ya.